Before me, you see, I don't know if you can see, I apologize, the ocean, Pacific Ocean, San Francisco Bay. It's pretty foggy today, but this is what's called China Beach. After the railroads were made, we're done. San Francisco was ready for the boom of the 49ers, the miners, right? And you can see a little bit of see how far away Golden Gate Bridge is? Which means San Francisco is technically on the other side of that, because that's where they were focusing more of the land. The older parts of San Francisco were on the Embarcadero side, not this side, because everybody's coming inward. But the Chinese would come out this way, fishing in their junk boats, creating a fishing industry. Creating industry in San Francisco, but they were not allowed to stay in San Francisco. Their children were not allowed in public schools. I'll show you what I mean. This beautiful memorial. China Beach. Since the gold rush times, this cove was used as a campsite by many of the Chinese fishermen who worked in and around San Francisco Bay. Their efforts to supply the needs of a young city helped establish one of the area's most important industries and traditions. Gift of Henry and Diana Chung family, 1981. Why China Beach? The origin of the name, quote, China Beach, unquote, is obscured by time and prejudice. Even before the 1849 gold rush, many Chinese immigrants took part in the California fishing industry. Hakka Chinese families skilled in boat building, sailing, fishing, sailed here and established thriving shrimp fisheries along the San Francisco Bay. By 1850, California passed a foreign miners tax, which solely targeted Chinese miners. This China Beach monument attributes the name to use of the site by local Chinese fishermen, but in 1871, California State Fisheries Survey does not formally recognize it. Alternatively, the beach may have served as a moorage for Chinese fishermen from Southern California that fished off the coast. For others, the site was once a port for Chinese funeral enterprise that shipped bones back to China for repatriation. Why is the name shrouded in mystery? How does knowing more about the racism faced by turn-of-the-century Chinese in California provide clues to the history of China Beach? Chow Chong family history. The return of a person's bones to their family home in China was widely practiced in late 19th century America. The Chow Chong family recalls their use of China Beach as an anchorage for junks that transported bones from nearby Chinese cemeteries to Quanghoi, China. Bones were often exhumed convertedly to avoid the $10 city tax for removing remains. China Beach was 1 mile away from City Cemetery, 1870 to 1898. This is a golf course now by, why can't I remember the name of the museum? This is sitting at a golf course, Lincoln Park, but there's a museum right there. Chinese junk ship Amoy left Shanghai, China on June 22nd, 1922, arrived in Victoria, BC on September 19th, and arrived in San Francisco Bay February 10th, 1923. Struggle for civil rights. Discriminatory federal, state, and local laws targeted Chinese Americans in the late 1800s. For example, San Francisco prohibited Chinese children from attending public schools and passed laws that targeted Chinese businesses. In 1882, the United States passed the Chinese Exclusion Act, the first federal law to halt citizenship and prevent entry of an entire ethnic group. In response, the Chinese community hired the best lawyers at the time to fight discrimination. In all, more than 10,000 lawsuits were filed, and more than 20 cases were heard by the U.S. Supreme Court. These cases set legal precedents for many landmark human rights lawsuits. For example, Chinese Americans won legal battles that allowed citizenship by birthright and the admission of immigrants seeking asylum due to the threats of their homeland. Other cases defeated discrimination, arguing the 14th Amendment right to equal protection under the law, a tactic later used to overturn Jim Crow laws. Tate versus Turley, 1885. The California Supreme Court finds that San Francisco's public school system must admit a girl of Chinese descent. Wick Yo versus Hopkins, 1886. In this landmark case, the United States Supreme Court overturned San Francisco's discriminatory laundry licensing law, Yik Woo Laundry. Why do we have so many Chinese laundromats? Chai Lung versus Friedman, 1875. The Supreme Court sided with the woman who sailed from China to San Francisco, ruling only Congress had the power to regulate immigration. Angel Island, 1920. Application of alleged American-born Chinese for pre-investigation of status by Wong Kim, ARC, November 15, 1894. Born in San Francisco in 1873. ARC sued the United States for citizenship by birth, a landmark case to set precedent using a 14th Amendment clause. 14th Amendment. Remember, the Chinese were not allowed to stay in San Francisco? Cannot build a Chinatown yet. They came out here fishing, and then we got China Beach, or China Camp way over in Marin area. So yeah, this is all part of the 14th Amendment exclusion, all the same shit that's happening now, just different race. This is all we do, America. This is all we do. Just a little bit of San Francisco history, the most liberal town in the States, which is not true. Have a great day.